Hello, hello, hello. Are we live? Is this actually live? Hello. Is this actually working? I don't actually know anymore. Hello, 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 hello. So sorry I'm late. As you saw in chat, I was making a coffee, and then when I went to press go live, OBS shut itself. Here we is. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry about the delay. I'm back. I'm back. And it's time to crack out some hobby fads. How are you doing today? Say hello if you're watching live. If you're not watching live, let me know who you are, where you're watching from down in the comments. And if you don't want to say that, then leave your favorite emoji, because any interaction is good interaction. I'd really appreciate it. If you are here, then like the stream, because you haven't already. Because there's 20 of you and there's 6 likes. So good morning, good morning, good morning. What's the plan today? It's the morning news. I thought we could talk about general news that's been happening in the tabletop and general gaming industry. There's been 2 pretty big video game dramas that have happened in the past day. and then I thought we'd look at some hobby hacks that are springing up. Obviously, we've had Slapchop being the king of hobby hack for 2 years now, and now the new one's here that people have been doing for years, but everyone's starting to jump on the trend again. So I thought we'd do that, and then we'll use that, what we learned from the sponge, to paint some Legion Imperialis buildings. That's the plan. I have lots of sprayed up buildings here, as you can see. Zenithal primed, ready to go. They're still very stinky, so I'm hoping they're going to dry before we start painting. But I thought we'd try and paint these with a sponge and see what happens. That's the plan today. But let me know who you are, where you're watching from, what's going on. Let me have a look. Mercenary, good morning to you. Lyle, good morning. Hello, Grimgar, how are you? Tom says, here we is. Here we is indeed. Good morning, Tom. Is this live or a simulation? I wish it was a simulation. It made more sense. Good morning, Steve Clapton. Anime Man, hello. The Wolf Thing, hello, hello, hello. Second streamer I watched today who had trouble streaming. I think maybe YouTube might be having an issue, because when I went press go live on YouTube, it all crashed out as well. I'm Mercenary, watching from Uzbekistan. Nice. You're lying. Good morning, Nori. I am watching and rumored to be alive. That's good. That's good. Watching from Oregon in the USA. Hey, Mulguk, how you doing? Watching while walking backwards. Big C, I've heard that's your specialty. I heard that's your specialty. Morning, just been watching your VOD from Monday. Putting on the mask in Lethal Company was banging. Yeah, Lethal Company was really fun on Monday. I don't know if you've been seeing, but I've been playing a little bit of Lethal Company with members on stream, which has been really fun. Because I've been doing the show and then playing a little bit of Lethal Company. It's been very fun to do. It's been very enjoyable. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. And I don't know, I was saying in Discord the other day. Especially Discord, by the way, to join the Discord. You can join for free. The best bit is when you become a member for as little as £1.99, obviously. And join the community there. But, yeah, I don't know how watchable it is. But people who are watching seem to be having a good time, which is the main thing. But it is very fun. It is very, very funny. Morning, here for about 40 minutes before I'm dragged into a workshop for the rest of the day. That sounds shit. That sounds shit, Lyle. Morning, gangsters. Calling in from Uzbekistan with my boy Mercenary. The man never lies. Brilliant. Well done, mate. Well done. Best comment of the morning. Good morning, Matt Byro. How are you? David J. Hello. That's and Des. Good morning. Good morning, Matty. How are you? So, how are we all doing? How are we all doing? Has everyone seen the news? Probably the saddest news of the day. That's funny because it's not even trending. The saddest news of the day, and it's not even trending. Which is quite funny. Where's the official account? Here it is, 19 hours ago. E3 E3 is actually shutting down. You might know E3. You might not know E3. You probably know E3. Is it that Captain Holt died? Yeah, I didn't really want to bring up death. I was talking about Googling things. Not Googling things. I was talking about, like, gaming things, sorry. Yeah, Captain Holt died today. Andre De Brouwer, I think. I'm butchering his name. Anyway, very sad to see him pass. At 61 as well. That's news. Hasn't it been shut for years now? No, actually. No. It took a really big hit. In the past few years. But E3 was the place to do game reveals, right? It was the place to do game reveals. And like everybody knew E3. It's a yearly thing where everyone went. You got a big crowd in, like 50,000 people every year to go and come and have a look at some game reveals. And it's been on a downwards trend for the past few years because obviously like loads of companies are doing their own reveals now. You got like Nintendo Direct, you've got Sony's State of Play, you've got Microsoft's whatever they want to call it that day. So they're all the people who are... all these companies are doing their own shows now. But E3's been a real downwards trend. And yeah, people are kind of saying, oh, isn't it already dead? Like, technically, no, it wasn't dead. Now it is dead. Because they tweeted and just said, after more than 2 decades of E3, each one bigger than the last, the time has come to say goodbye. Thanks for the memories. And that's it. Just out. They just dropped mic and went, you know what, we're done. Which is quite funny because it said each one bigger than the last, even though they've been on a bit of a downwards trend for the past 5 years. It's a bit of a shame, I think. I think it's a little bit of a shame. But if you didn't know, there's your news for the day. E3 is officially shut down. Again, it died a while ago, but they finally put the bullet in the back of the head. Finally, like, called it quits. They haven't tweeted in, what, 7 months, 8 months now? So, well, there you go. There you go. E3 officially dead. It's a shame, I think. I think it's a shame, but maybe it's just nostalgia. Again, I think like E3 was like such a huge thing back in the day when gaming wasn't like super popular. And also, E3 was like huge before like the rise of the internet, really. Like, before the internet was like a huge thing, E3 was about. And it's only like in the past 5-10 years that companies have kind of gone, oh, actually, there's this thing called social media now, and we can kind of just launch our games on there. Like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And E3's kind of taking the brunt of it because companies have been slowly pulling out. Whether that's been Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, the big three who make games consoles. But also companies like Ubisoft as well have also pulled out in recent years. And they used to have like a really, really, really big showing at E3. And then they pulled out. So like, it's a bit of a shame. It's not the end of the world because we still get reveals. And we get reveals all year long now because different companies like Nintendo do one every 3 months. State of Plays every like couple of months. I don't know. I don't follow it too much. You know, like game reveals happen all the time throughout the year. So the hype is constantly building. But I think it's a little bit of a shame because I think like seeing Nintendo Direct is fun. Like that's one I always try and watch, Nintendo Direct. State of Play, I'll see the highlights and stuff like that. But I always try and watch Nintendo Direct. But a lot of the time when I see Nintendo Direct, I'm like this. You know? I'm like watching it like this on my phone. I'm watching it on stream, or I watch it on my phone. And like seeing it is cool and it's very fun. Don't get me wrong. It's like, oh look, like Super Mario Wonders has been announced. Or, oh, are they going to announce a new Zelda game? You know? The thing is with it is like E3 was like a live reaction with a crowd, which is very different to like seeing something on YouTube, I think. Like, yeah, not everyone can travel to like the US and go and watch it, obviously. Not everyone can go to E3 and be there, but also like having like a large crowd react to your announcement is like something that I think that's like a little bit of shame that we're probably going to lose. Because, like, yeah, like now you go on YouTube, you start watching Nintendo Direct, and all the big bosses are like, wow, look at that. We got like 100,000 or 300,000 people watching live. That's super sick. And it's like, yeah, that is super sick, but it's just a number. like the live reaction, the live audience is lost essentially, and I think that's a little bit of a shame. But never mind. Never mind. It's one of those things, you know? It's just one of those things. It couldn't survive because everyone else is doing their own live shows. So live online anyway. Tom, thanks for being a member for 2 months. 2 months of bringing the tone down. Well, I appreciate having you around, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Hashtag degenerate. Quite. It was the main place of gaming, but now Summer Game Fest takeover. Sad E3's gone. Yeah, exactly. You've still got like the Game Awards, and you've still got Summer Game Festival. As like two. Well, Game Awards is probably bigger than E3 now, just because of the live interaction. But again, the crowds are all the producers. There's no like live audience that's not like worked on a game, which is probably okay. So that's like quite cool that that's still there. But yeah, like E3 was like a little special thing that anyone could attend. So that's a shame, but wasn't on my bingo card of news of things getting binned off. I remember the Colonial Marine fiasco. Which one was that one, Lone Wolf? The real shame is there's going to be no more live reveal cringe. It's going to be sanitized and pre-recorded. Yeah, don't forget the famous Skyward Sword E3 reveal. Is this the one?
Okay,
here we see the Dekubabas popped
これは
up here.
口のある方向に切らないとダメなんですね。だか
Now
ら
you
上
have
か
to
ら
pay
行っても
attention because the only way to defeat it is to cut it in the same direction that its mouth is open.
Everyone remember
ダメで
this?
すね。横向きに切ります。
It doesn't work if you cut top to bottom.
Here, this is like the big reveal of Wii Motion Plus. Like, this is so old now, but this is like the big reveal of Wii Motion Plus, and the whole point was Wii Motion Plus went from not just swinging the sword and then Link doing whatever he wants, is you go like this and Link does like this. And there was like wireless interference at the time, and it like screwed over Miyamoto, so he couldn't actually play properly. As you can see, he's trying to swing and it's not responding. Oh, it did there, look.
横に切ります。じゃあ次ですね。
Okay, so here, I have to cut vertically.
But it's not cutting vertically because the signal's not working. He makes it look so bad.
やってやりました。そしてこの剣を
There's a bit where
こんな
someone
感じで
goes,
壇上に入ります。
is anyone using wireless? Stop phoning people.
あ、切りましたね。
Oh, there
Anyway, it was very funny.
Okay.
It was very, very funny. Let me see if I can find cringe. We'll put cringe afterwards. That might reveal it. Cringe. There isn't one. Anyway, it was very funny. Very funny. We won't get that anymore. We'll just get, yeah, like pre-recorded shit. I remember when they announced Wind Waker at E3, I stared at those blurry screenshots for days. I bet you did. I remember rip actual games hype and more or less finished games kind of stayed up with Mass Effect 3 reveal with friends. That's fun. That's fun. I always used to go to Eurogamer, and that was good for reveals and trying new unreleased games, but gradually it got worse and worse. Now it's 3 hours queuing to play 6-month-old game and merch stands. Yeah, true. Very true.
Somebody. So today, I think we'll do it with Reggie.
Hi.
My body is ready.
Oh, the cringe. The cringe.
じゃあ乗ってください。
Okay, Reggie, please stand on the Wii balance board. So, are you wearing just a light layer
Heavy
clothing?
clothing.
Heavy
Heavy
clothing.
clothing.
Oh god, the cringe, the cringe. But I'm excited to get my hands on it and have a look. I keep wanting to play Kill Team, and I do play Kill Team a little bit casually, but I really want to play Kill Team on stream, like on a game night or something. It was quite fun because I like the concept of like having like impassable zones and stuff like that, and it being like a really interesting board rather than just a very static board like normal. Like having all like the poison swamp area or the poison water area that you can't cross over seems really fun. But yeah. It looks good. Trailer is kind of a strong word. Yeah, I know. About Hideo Kojima again. But yeah, the new Kill Team looks fun. I'm sure you'll see some of it pop up on the channel soon. The Game Awards was supposed to be celebrating the industry and its achievements, and it was just bollocks for most of its runtime. Also very true. Also very true. Have you all heard about the day before? I'm just looking at the rain now, Jesus Christ. Have you all heard about the day before video game? The day before was the most wish-listed game on Steam. Okay. The day before was the most wish-listed game on Steam. And essentially, long story short, for those who don't know, it was set up to be a massive online multiplayer game, a massive multiplayer online game of like zombie survival horror. Okay, and they like showed it off like years ago, and they said it's gonna have all of these features. It's gonna be so good, and then like people weren't seeing any updates about the game, so everyone thought it was gonna be a scam, and then out of nowhere, they dropped the game. They finally dropped the game, like 4 or 5 days ago. Probably like 4 days ago. It wasn't the same game that they announced it was gonna be. It turned into an extraction shooter, rather than a massive online multiplayer game. And it's finally come out. The game's really bad. There's nothing happening in the game. This trailer is actually all of the features that are available in the game. This is it. The 3 minutes that we're watching now is actually all of the content in the game. There is nothing else that's happening. I've been watching loads of people play it and just running around, and literally all the buildings are empty. All the buildings you can't go in, all the buildings you can go in are empty, and there's nothing there. And there's approximately 1 zombie per player. And there's only like 4 people playing now. Anyway, they tweeted. Like a day after launch. A day after launching their biggest game. That they are shutting down. So they got like 200,000 sales on Steam. You can't buy it now. It's been taken off the store. You can still see the preview page, but you can't actually buy it anymore. As you can see, it has overwhelmingly negative. It has 1 star out of 5, I think. And it says, today we announced the closure of Fantastic Studio. Unfortunately, the day before failed financially and we lack the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners. So they put out this game idea that was probably not real. They like kept promoting it for years and years. And people were like, wow, this game looks amazing. So much so that the game was the most wishlisted game on Steam. And they launched it, and 4 days later, they closed the studio. And then gone, all the income received is being used to pay off our debts to our partners. So if you have ordered this, make sure you get a refund from Steam, because you have up to like 30 days to do it or something like that. But we invested all our efforts, resources, and man-hours into the development of the day before, which is our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the full potential of the game, but unfortunately we don't have the funding to continue the work. Even though they just sold 200,000 copies, and then everyone like refunded it straight away. I think they sold 200,000 copies, and I think the number I saw was they had refunds in the region of 90,000 people wanted a refund within the first 2 hours. Which is just like unheard of. Unheard of. Most wishlisted game, most refunds within 2 hours. 2 crazy awards to put on the wall of the now closed office. It's important to note that we didn't take any money from the public during development of the day before. There were no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns. No, you just lied to everybody and basically went around saying we're the most wishlisted game on Steam, so please invest in our company, and it didn't work. We worked tirelessly for 5 years, pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into the game. No, you didn't. Clearly not. The game was made in like 5 minutes. There's nothing in there. Also, something that someone else has pointed out on Reddit, that most of the game is like free-to-use assets. Like all of the assets are like available for either free or you can buy them really cheap. None of the assets are original. They're all just repurposed, which is like... it's fine, but to say like, oh yeah, we worked tirelessly for 5 years, it's like you worked tirelessly for 5 years flipping assets that were already available, which is quite funny. At the moment, the future of Day Before Prop Night is unknown, but the service will remain operational, so the 4 people who still have the game and still want to play it can still play for now. We apologise if we didn't meet your expectations. We did everything within our power, but unfortunately we miscalculated our capabilities. Creating games is an incredibly challenging endeavour. We're grateful to everyone who supported us during these difficult years. It's been a fantastic journey over the past 8 years. I think you can see all these games that have since come out. Now, I heard a rumour that these other games that haven't been mentioned, such as Prop Night and the Day Before, have actually already moved studio. But everyone thinks that might be something weird, just so they don't have to close the games down. But anyway, pretty crazy, pretty wild Steam news there to say the most pre-ordered game. Most wishlisted game to be closed down the day after it comes out. The day before closed, the day after it came out. Which is very funny. The tutorial was 2 hours long, so people would pass the 2-hour limit on getting a refund. Also true. And there's literally nothing there. There's nothing in. There's nothing in the tutorial. But yeah, the tutorial was so long, so you couldn't get the normal refund, and then people are just getting refunds anyway. So, did you see that the developer replied, "Shit happens to people's complaints"? Oh, really? That's all the replies. The day before, the week after, brilliant. I wonder if there's hidden replies. We should always check that first. Wow, they're not even hidden any replies. What the fuck? What's wrong with them? I don't see any replies. Should I check the replies in this account? Unbelievably, you guys hyped this game up so much, and this is the end of the result. You guys are an absolute disgrace to the video game industry. This is our first big experience. Shit happens. Sell what? Other people's work. It's 98% assets of the Unreal Engine store. You flipped the numbers. You can check. This is entirely our own work. The readers added context. This was, in fact, not entirely their work. Oh, man, I love community notes. Did I find this helpful? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It was science quality sources, easy to understand, directly addresses the post claim, provides important context, and it was neutral or unbiased language. I agree. Great job, little community note. Yeah, the comeback is real. The day before too. Oh man. Oh, very funny. Very, very funny. Look, he came out on the 7th. After 5 years, blood, sweat, and tears, you can finally say these words. The day before, he's out now. On the 11th. Literally 4 days. That is so funny. Anyway, there you go. Now you know. Now you know what's been happening on Steam. Just mass refunds everywhere. Which is very fun. Proper early access bait. Yeah, differently. Hardcore survival zombie game with multiplayer perpetually in early access. Shall I get it? Can I try and get it? Do you think? Shall I play it now? Oh, dear. What's the chances these replies is by the studio? By the studio is now from the CEO because everyone else is fired. Probably highly likely. Let's be real. Highly likely. Day before 2, the day after. Day before 2, the reopening. Oh, man. Have you played or looked at Road Trader? I think it's bargain basement bin Baldur's Gate, but interested in your opinion. I have Road Trader. I haven't played it yet. I actually own Road Trader because the studio Alcat were very kind and sent me a key because I wanted to play it on stream. I just haven't got around to it yet. But yeah, I'd really like to play it. Is this that Mario song? This is Xenoblade Chronicle. You're both wrong, Mercenary and Decknell. It's Battle Torn by Xenoblade. The folk from Xenoblade. Road Trader is freaking great. It looks really good. It looks really. I was a bit disappointed when you said that not all of it is voice acted. I don't want to like sit and have to read to stream if I'm going to sit and read stream all day. Look, I'm here to play games, not to read, you know. But I might give it a go. I do want to give it a go on stream, to be fair. I didn't need to give it a go because I asked for a key to play it on stream and I haven't yet. Because I was like, yeah, but Lethal Companies are all well fun. A lot of it is voice acted, but some of it isn't. Okay. Yeah, I will play it on stream. Probably next week now. Sadly, I'm not going to be streaming Friday or Monday this week. I'm actually going to Paris with Georgie and her family for a little Christmas getaway. So I'm away. I'm having a long weekend away, so I won't be live Friday or Monday, I'm afraid. It's because like Monday probably would have been quite good. But maybe I'll come back on Tuesday and play it. Maybe like Tuesday night. Maybe look at the date. Oh my god, that's the week of Christmas. Kill me now. So probably the 19th. Just watch out for bedbugs. Yeah, I know. I did want to go for that reason, but I was outvoted. You sound so bummed about going to Paris. I can't stream. I am bummed. I can't stream. I was like, George, let's go any day. We can go any day, just not Monday. Monday's boys' night, okay? She was like, okay, we won't be there Monday night. But like, I've got to travel back from Birmingham, so I can't stream. But yeah, should be nice. I've never actually been to Paris. I tell a lie. I've been to Paris once, and that was for my layover on the way home from Atlanta. So I'm like, I've been to Paris twice, for the first time twice, but only one of them was for like an hour. Stream from Paris. The thing is like Friday's the day I get there, and then Monday's the day I come back. And I think I'm actually gonna be on a plane when I would be live. That's why I'm not. But you should get a baguette. Yeah, I had a croissant while I was there last time in the airport, waiting for my flight. So I'm gonna have to have a baguette. I'm gonna have to be like, Monsieur, baguette, please. That's what I'm gonna say. Take the bug spray. I know. Stream from the plane. There's a small issue from that. Small issue. Thoughts on Hypercrypt without Monolith? Very limiting. The Hypercraft Legion, or Hypercrypt Legion, isn't super consistent without Monolith. Reason being, there's not actually the great deal of Necron units that have Deep Strike. You're looking at Ophidian Destroyers, which already have that rule, so benefit nothing from the detachment. You have Death Marks. That's about it. That is pretty much all of it. So yeah, so like without the Monolith, it just feels very limited because you don't have a great deal of units that actually have Deep Strike. So they don't really, they come down and then arrive on the edge of the board, which is not where you need to be. You need to be in the middle. Plain stream, better or worse quality than spray paint outside in the rain stream. Hey, that was a good stream. Okay, that was a good stream and it worked. It worked so well. Travel vlog, what could go wrong? I don't think I'm doing any Warhammer things. I'll probably be going to the French Wargame Cafe. Because Julian from French Wargame Studio, who streamed Atlanta, the other YouTuber that streamed there, has a cafe in Paris, so I'm probably going to go check that out. Yeah, it works. Kong Stew, listen. I don't appreciate the hate this morning, to be honest. Don't appreciate the hate. It was good. It was a good stream. It worked, and I streamed. How was Sunday? I didn't mention it Monday. It was pretty crap, actually. That's why I didn't bother mentioning it. Do members update. Yeah, I'll probably do like a little bit of filming there. I'm gonna like have a look around his studio and stuff. Yeah, Sunday was pretty crap. That no, actually, that was a bit good. It was pretty dead, so I didn't mention it at all. I didn't do a video about it or anything. So for those asking, for those wondering, I went to Sanctuary Bring and Buy, which is basically a car boot or a yard sale. So like old Warhammer, and there wasn't a great deal of people there, and the stuff they had was all a bit shit. The only thing that was there that I actually missed out on is I saw a guy bringing in Necrosphinx, and I almost bought it, but then when I went to buy it, it had already gone. And I was like, okay. And I didn't sell anything either, which is pretty shit. Good bad stream is best content. We aren't here for quality, Michael. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, exactly, Stewie. Listen to Tom. Anyway, let's do some hobby fads, shall we? Shall we do some hobby fads? Why is that not? That's not working. Is it 2? No. Is it 3? No. Is it 1? Yes. Very good. Mute that. Oh no, don't mute that. That's fine. Check. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do some hobby fads today. That's the plan. So the rage chat. Is there an echo? Hello. There is an echo. Hello. There we go. Cool. The rage, like hobby fads, and what do I mean by hobby fads? Hobby fads are like things that people have always done. They've been doing it forever, but someone comes up with like a name for it, or comes up with like one banger video, and then suddenly everyone starts doing it. And I think I've noticed a trend already. Okay. I think I've already noticed something that is on the rise, because it's every painting video I am recommended is now using this hobby fad. Okay. And it's painting with a sponge. So painting with a sponge is not new. Fashion, basically. Yeah, exactly. It's like fashion. It's like fast fashion. They just do it again. They reinvent it. You know? I like that loser did blip blop blop. Listen, blip blop blop is extremely good. Okay? Extremely good. So shut up. That was a piss take. It's not actually a a technique. It was a piss take on people coming up with so many names and reinventing the wheel. Because who hasn't seen Slap Chop is a game changer? Slap Chop 2 is insane. The Slap Chop killer. The Slap Chop death sentence. The Slap Chop goes to work for the first time. The Slap Chop learns to drive. You've all seen it, okay? You've all seen it, okay? It was a meme. It was a tongue-in-cheek. It was to remind you that people coming up with stupid names about paint technique are just that. Stupid. But it's all in good taste. It's all fun. It's all very fun. Anyway. The trend now seems to be painting with a sponge. Sponge it seems to be like every other video is coming out now. And everybody's been painting with a sponge forever. You know? The people have been using it for like weathering because it gives random chips and random marks on the models and stuff like that. So it's good for like weathering and new paint chipping. But also people are now just using it to paint the entire model with a sponge like it's new. And it's not new, but it's okay that it's like on a trend. I'm just telling you that you're going to see more and more of this. I'm warning you. This is the next fad. Okay. It's fine that it's on the trend. It's fine. Slap Chop's great. It's a really cool technique. It's a funny name. It's very memorable. When I say Slap Chop, you know what I mean. And sponge painting isn't new. But I'm telling you, it's on the trend, and that's fine. It's just everybody's... Like, 2024, January, February, once everyone's had January off, because they had a revenue shit. February, everybody is going to come out with a video, and it's going to be like, painting a whole model with a sponge? Question mark? That's the title, okay? Let's have a look. Painting Warhammer sponge. So I watched this one 4 months ago. Sponge painting Space Marines. All these shorts, 337,000 views, 85,000 views. Weathering, 92,000 views. See, no one actually cares about the weathering. Okay. Painting on Warhammer is actually easy. 123,000 views. I think that one's not using a sponge. That's cheating. Oh, you see there, I think that's the same miniature. No airbrush. 25 min. Sponge only. Okay. Can we watch it? Well, this one. Yeah, definitely. We'll watch a few. Blue sponge. Sponge painting model. See, Mediocre Hobbies is on it. 12 days. 12 days ago. Sponge paint models, does it work? Question mark. I paint a marine only with sponges. None of these are a year old. Can you paint Warhammer terrain with only a sponge? Painting challenge. Paint with a sponge? Can you paint Warhammer with a sponge? See? It's everybody. It's everybody. Okay, so we're going to get on today. Alright. This is what we're doing. Anyway, let's have a look. Some channels only content is hobby fans. That's fine. I'm not like calling these YouTubers out for being on the trend. What I'm trying to say is I have noticed a trend and it's on its way. Under 30.5 minutes. What does under 30.5 minutes mean? Why don't you just say under 30 minutes or under half an hour?
Sometimes an airbrush is not the only tool for the job. Behold, the mighty sponge.
The mighty sponge.
When getting a sponge, make sure it's the clean one, not the one tainted by Nurgle crawling away. Grab the sponge with your base color and push it in everywhere. Keep going back for brighter colors and dab it on the topmost parts, not touching any of the underside of the model. Carefully moving down to the edges as you get brighter color. Slap on your favorite metallics, then whip out the streaking grime and get to work.
Streaking grime is crucial. Not AK though.
Clean it up.
AK.
Clean some
MIG. Fuck AK.
more, base the model, and bam! Not bad for 20 minutes.
I thought it was under 30 minutes, not 20 minutes. It does look sick though. That looks nice. Why are you mad? What? Who said I was mad? Who said I was mad? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just think the titles are funny. Sponge painting models? I love Media Copies. He's great. Sponge painting models? Right? Can you paint Warhammer terrain with only a sponge? The titles are funny. Right? They're just like, wow, look, a sponge. It's like, yeah, everyone's been doing it for fucking year, mate. I'm not throwing any shade. Shut the fuck up. Look at this one.
Working with a sponge, trying to make sure that it always
Shout out
stays
to Another
damp.
Day
While your
Miniatures,
sponge
by
is
the way. I'm watching this video.
damp, you'll have an easier time applying even layers of paint onto the model. At least that's what I found from my personal experience. If I want to do a lot of layers and have a much smoother transition, you want to work much...
Is that an AI background of a giant sponge, by the way? Maggie punching up because they all have more subs. No, they don't. No, they don't. Shut up. Who? Who? I'm punching down. That's the only way.
more wet and essentially have thinner layers as a result. The only issue with that is you'll have a lot more time drying between each layer. Don't feel limited by the size of your sponge. Adjust it to your needs. Try to think of every single model as a cylinder. You're just applying the sponge through the cylinder where the light will be hitting. There is...
I like him holding the mic. I feel like I'm in front of his one-man show. Are you saying I'm a fake content creator because I've got a fucking table mic? A table holder. Do you want me to just hold it? Is that what you want? Is that better? Is that better, Stewie? Do you want me to hold the mic? Well, just get a thing that holds it for you. Then you can use your hands for doing other things. We know you're best when you're holding the mic. True. 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 Hope you liked me smacking the mic. First routine, now painting content creators. I'm not calling anyone out. It's just funny. Okay.
Is one exception. When you're applying your final highlights, you actually want to go further into the shadows. You're edge highlighting all the little areas where the light will be catching. That's optional. It will create a bit more detail to your model and make it much more visually clear as to where the line begins and another line ends.
This guy seems to know everything about working with a sponge. You know what? That's pretty hype. No one else does. To be fair though, the thumbnail does look quite good, so I'm interested in what it looks like.
It's not necessary when you're painting an army. It's my personal approach. It's definitely not the best, and it's just the concept I apply to the specific model. Here's the list of all the products I've used. I didn't have the exact Sons of Horus colors, so I had to mix my own from the emerald green. I never actually used emerald green on its own, as it's far...
Name one time I was a hater. Name one time I was a hater.
Too saturated and just not the type of color I was looking for. I got it by mixing emerald green with white and black to desaturate it and then bring
colors. I'm not bothered about
color and try to go over the
I
entire
think this is saying
model.
I did the shot.
I made sure my sponge was nice and damp, and I tried to cover every single detail. I wasn't too worried if some of the details were left unsponged, as later on I'd be going in with streak and grime and it would cover up any of the minor details that I've left unpainted. I'm not particularly
quite
careful
wet.
with this entire
It
model.
looks quite wet
I made
compared
sure
to like
my
a dry
sponge
brush.
was
It looks
nice
very
and damp,
watery.
and I tried to cover every single detail. I wasn't too worried if some of the details were left.
I was expecting it to be like straight in the pot, straight out the pot, but I don't think it is. I think that looks really watered down,
Unsponged.
So that's what we've learned: how to paint with a sponge. We need a notepad. We need the ultimate. We need the ultimate writing thing. Water down paint. Did he say wet sponge? Holy shit! I missed all of that. We gotta start again. You're just shouting at me.
Time applying even layers of paint onto the model. At least that's what I found from my personal experience. If I want to do a lot of layers and have a much smoother transition, you want to work much more wet and essentially have thinner layers as a result. The only issue with that is you'll have a lot more time drying between each layer. Don't feel limited by the size of your sponge.
I'll go back to
I'm not particularly careful with this step, as this is the base color and this just doesn't really matter. All I'm trying to do is...
Base color doesn't actually matter. Base color doesn't actually matter. We're going to be doing this in a few minutes, by the way. Just want to let you know that.
Is cover as much area, so I'm rotating the model at every single angle I possibly can get it in, and just sponging in every single area. I'm applying moderate pressure to make sure that enough paint actually gets out. Once the model is dry, I move on to my next color. This is essentially a mix between my blend and my mid-tone. I'm applying the exact same technique, which is working quite wet and just sponging it all. This time, I'm not rotating the model as much and I'm not using as much force. By doing this, I'm hoping to leave a lot of the base colors still visible, but introduce a lot of this gradient detail that will provide a smoother transition to all the other colors.
I do actually really like the effect it leaves. Are we learning this stuff? Yeah, we're going to do this today. This is the plan. I have a sponge. It's pink. I've got it. There it is. It's a really good technique to use for rough and damaged armor. I'm going to use it on some buildings. I thought it looked quite cool on some buildings. I've got some Legion Imperialis buildings behind me that I need to paint. So I thought I'd try it out on there and see how we get on. Use your sweat to moisten the sponge. Gives your opponent extra salt when you table them. I just airbrush really badly to get that sponge done. Look, yeah, and just the spatter and the cobwebs.
An important thing to keep in mind is, even though this is a very dark color, while the paint is wet, it'll appear much brighter than it's going to be, especially if you're working in a thinner layer.
By using a lot more water. I'm gonna.
I move into my mid-tone and I grab a pair of tweezers and a smaller sponge. This way, it'll be much easier for me to hold the sponge, and as the sponge is much smaller, it'll be much more precise. I start off by dabbing just very small amounts of paint, as I thought the color was a little bit too bright and it would be a bit of a harsh transition. So I applied a very tiny amount just to see if the result was something I like. I waited for the small amount to dry, and once I was satisfied with the result, I continued dabbing it on the rest of the model. Once again, I'm working even more wet, just so that the transition between the paints is much more smooth and doesn't leave behind much of the texture of the sponge. For the shoulders, I'm painting them edge upwards, so I'm trying to cover as much of the edge while leaving a lot of the areas closer. Is it the
sponge that's really wet or the paint? Because the sponge there looks dry.
To where the gold is going to be. For every other area, I'm trying to hold the sponge and apply it from above downwards. That way, I'm able to leave a lot of the shadow areas between where the plates are going to be. I'm not rushing in any way. I'm taking my time and just carefully trying to decide where I'm going to apply it, as I wasn't even certain where the highlights were going to be at the moment.
God, I wish I had an American accent, you know. I think I could do so many tutorial stuff and do really well if I had an American accent, not like my shit accent.
Using a sponge from above and pointing it downwards, I was able to use the natural shape of the model as a guide for where my colors were going to be. I moved on to what I thought was going to be my final highlight, and I started applying it to the upmost edges of the shoulder pads. The reason I'm saying what I thought was going to be my final highlight is once I applied it, I realized it was far too desaturated and pale. So the model just looked a bit dead, and it didn't really have
I wouldn't get a penny off me if you were young. Why not? What the fuck? Isn't this technique Travarian is pushing? Probably. It's a trend, Matt. It's a trend. Everybody's doing it. It's on the up. Next year, 2024, every painter you know will have a sponge video, and they'll all come out on the same day. And it'll be called Dish Slap Shop. Dish Slap Shop. That's what it'll be called. You're welcome.
Visual variation between the colors I previously applied. Nonetheless, I continued with this color, applying it to all the edges where I wanted my highlights to be, which is using very light pressure and just lightly allowing the sponge to settle on the edges and give me that edge highlighted look without allowing the sponge to go into the deeper areas.
So it reduces the size of the sponge, which is not mentioned. Reduce the size of the sponge.
I finally added a lot more ice yellow to my color to bring the warmth back into the color. Since all the other colors look extremely cold, using a very bright and warm color will bring out the transition of the color.
Scrub daddies everywhere. There'll be scrub daddies.
From the cold to the warm, as if the sunlight is hitting the model and warming up the highlight.
Shop.
You're essentially creating a contrast between not just dark and light, but also cold and warm, tricking the eye that there's actually more work done to the model than there actually is. Here I grab my hull red and apply it to the model's leather parts. I want it to be a single color with the rest of the arm.
Yeah, now he's just painting. And then he does streaking grime.
Grime that just gathers,
and then he wipes it off.
Lucky that you'd apply streaking grime to. You're done using it, and you apply them to your video. Any of that.
Okay, interactive.
The model as if the ground is dusty and is slowly collecting onto the legs.
It does look really nice, to be fair.
Connect the model to the base so that they feel as if they're in one world. I hope some of you found this helpful.
I think that anything where you have like a gritty effect, like stippling, dry brushing, anything like that, or sponging, if you put something over the top, like a huge wash over the top, or in this case, streaking grime, that's going to help create a filter over everything. And what that's essentially doing is it's kind of like glazing, but like a lazy man's glaze, because you're just putting a wash all over. Not only does it recess, like add depth to the recesses, add like a red color, which is cool, or just add like a shadow. It's also putting a filter over all of the paint job, because like there'll be like a thin layer of streaking grime in this case over the paint where he sponged it. And what that's going to do is kind of like putting a filter over like multiple colors, and that filter is going to blend them all together quite nicely and make it look quite nice. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that that's like cheating or anything. All I'm saying is that has like this has like a filter on it now, over the sponge, and it blends it all together really nicely. So, great video, Another Day Miniatures. Great day. Great day. Great video. Okay, we need to watch another one. It's just unifying the work under a filter. I do it hides my areas. Yeah, exactly. You need that final wash over, all over wash. Like a really thin contrast paint would work as well. Something like that. But yeah, in this case, streaking grime seems to be the way to go. It's kind of like doing like what I did with the with the Iron Hands. So with the Iron Hands, when I painted all those different metals underneath, then used a contrast over the top to filter it all together, and then used streaking grime. It's kind of like similar to that. You got all these different colors that like blend together because there's a color over the top, essentially. After shading one sprue of Legions, I was very close to dipping the others. They just thin it way more than usual, mate. And sadly, it doesn't make much of a difference when it's done. What's the most viewed sponge painting video? Probably a short. Speed painting ultramarines. This is a lie. He does not use a sponge in this video. None of these are sponge painting. We've been conned. We've been conned. We'll have to start again. Use a sponge for stippling. I painted a Space Marine with LD sponge. Funnily enough, I don't think the person in the thumbnail is the same person in the video. Is that really scummy?
Welcome to Paint Quest. Now
Yeah, I don't think the person in the thumbnail is the same person in the video. So
we continue with another coat of dark red. Let's move on. Last step, the shoulder pad. Let's dip a creamy color onto the marine armor here.
She doesn't sound like she'd talk like that. That's cringe. I think that's a little bit cringe, yeah. Is that an AI generated girl? She has 4 fingers, so I don't think so. That's a bit cringy in my opinion. I'm not gonna watch that. Blue sponge. I started watching this one the other day. Let's have a look.
Right.
Oh, it says
Let's
this
paint
is
the
Another
famous
Day
guys in
Miniatures
blue
again.
using a sponge.
He's
Not
back.
those guys.
He's
For anyone
back. Look
asking,
at him.
this is the sponge I use. It's called a synthetic art sponge. You can usually find them in art stores, and they come in a bulk. I usually just dip my sponge
Why is he not using a kitchen sponge?
in some water and then rinse it out with my fingers, and making sure that it has plenty of moisture while still being wet. I started by grabbing liquid text.
Plenty of moisture, still being wet. Plenty of moisture, but still wet. That's a good note. He didn't say that in the last video. He's using gouache.
Ultramarine red blue, and applying it all over the model with a damn sponge. Now, the words red blue might seem a little bit contradictory, but this color is
He's using
very
gouache.
insane.
Gouache is like, as far as I'm aware, like paint, but it's also like a paste.
And how it looks. It's honestly quite difficult to describe, but once you see that it dries, even in the wet form,
We
it
have to watch
just looks
Travarian,
out of
don't
this
we?
world. Then it mixed in some Vallejo ultramarine blue to create a very desaturated color that will ground the otherwise alien-looking blue that we previously applied. I'm using the exact same sponge
I think this is a better video. It's showing a little bit more what's going on. Other than
from
just
the
the
previous
technique, it's
step,
showing you
not
him
cleaning
mixing
it in
and stuff.
any way. As I want the residual paint that's
Am I in Another Day Miniatures stand now? Jesus.
left in the sponge to mix in with the ultramarine even further. An important step I cannot honestly repeat enough in every single video is try to make sure your sponge always stays damp. This will help have nice, very clean layers that do not leave any of the unfortunate texture behind that's often familiar with a sponge. I'm constantly rotating the model and doing my best to apply colors to the areas where I think they'll be most prominent. And here I grab some Liquitex Primary Blue. For this step, I did grab a brand new sponge as I felt like the color was very powerful and saturated enough by itself that I wanted it to be prominent in this miniature. One thing that's also, I'm not sure if it was clear enough from the bottles, they're not just normal Liquitex paints. These are called acrylic gouache. Now, these are acrylic paints and not actually gouache.
I don't have gouache, guys. I haven't got gouache. I don't know if I'm going to fuck this up.
Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with an experimental painting technique. I don't know.
Really selling it, Andy. Really selling it. I don't know what I'm painting, by the way.
Imperialis, or my Legions Imperialis bases. And I got a really nice result in that I was really happy with, which then made me think of other uses for this specific technique. How useful is it?
I always wondered why, so this is Mediocre Hobbies. I always wondered why he had this in every shot when he was like presenting, because I was like, why do you need that? Like, I know what channel you're on. And then I just realized his microphone's on the end of it. That's so smart. That's so smart. I did not even notice that.
Trying to paint normal things for Warhammer, so I thought I would jump in today and have a play around with that technique. I'm going to be kind of leaning into that triad system again. I'm going to go for the 3 layers of colors that I know kind of sit well on top of each other, and I'm going to try and sponge up through those colors to get a nice gradient through it and see what we can
mate, I should have to skip to 2.5 minutes to find your painting.
Paint and see what happens.
Love you, bud, but come on.
Okay, guys, so this is the
crucial.
tank that I have chosen. It is a Eldar alternative. It's from their Space Elf range and from Proxy Wars. They do actually a stunning range of bits and pieces from
Great
them,
company, Proxy Wars.
Phoenix Lords and different aspect warriors, all those kind of bits and pieces. You want to check them out, like I said, I will leave a link in the description. You can go check out Proxy Wars for yourself.
Yeah, great company. I thought this was a great I have a discount code, by the way. Use Hellstorm at checkout for 10% off.
Sponging technique on, nice big flat surface, some nice curves and angles to work around and see how this
right, I've Zenithal primed it and no one else has. I thought that'd be easier, but clearly it's not. I've clearly cheated.
Sponging kind of system works. All I did was tidy up the model a little bit and give it a nice just jet black coat of paint. I used the Chaos Black spray from Games Workshop, and that's it. From there it's straight into painting. As you can see, it's got a little bit of a mold slip, unfortunately, from 3D printing.
I love Mediocre Hobbies, but how he keeps breathing in through his teeth, and now I can't not notice it. Oh dear, I did not notice that. Oh no.
That happens sometimes. It is an unfortunate thing. You could reprint the entire thing, but obviously it's such a big piece and so time consuming that I didn't bother. These are the paints that I'm going to be using. Once again, leaning.
I love it when most Warhammer players use sponge painting. They always use like pick and pluck foam, like it's not super expensive.
To try that triad
I
system,
used it as well.
Berserker Red, Scarlet Red,
but it's well expensive.
Red,
I don't know why you would use it.
to basically build up that gradient and that color in the hull of the vehicle. See if this whole technique really works. I have seen it work on some Eldar jet bikes and stuff, but the guy was using a much smaller thing, like he was a small bit of foam on a tweezers and he was prodding and poking. So I'm going to go a little bit bigger, a little bit of a chunky piece of foam, if you will. So I tear off a bit of this case foam, and I'm going to be using this the entire time for the entire 3 stages of sponging that I'm going to do on this tank.
I don't think he's wet the sponge.
See what kind of technique we can get. So the idea, or the premise,
I don't think he wet the sponge.
Same kind of idea that I go for when I'm getting my guard tanks painted or my heresy tanks painted. Or
just like YOLO
technique. The idea is that I'm trying to get through the concept that the paint has like multiple layers. It shouldn't be this completely clean, smooth coat of red. That would make it look like a toy. I want this thing to look like a vehicle that's, you know, war-torn, if you will. Something that's ancient, as all Eldar tanks kind of are. And the idea as well that they're not made of that smooth plastic, like I said in the intro. These things are not made of steel. They are literally like grown tanks. They are made of bone, if you will. So I definitely want to get across that it is not like perfectly smooth. And I think that this sponging technique is going to be a great way to get that across. This is the first coat of red done on the entire tank. And as you can see, it does have a nice solid red. You can see some of the black shining through. It is not perfectly. Yeah.
Let's skip forward, see some of the layers.
So I don't know who it was, if it would do, I don't know, like frame the red, if you will.
Is that
the
it?
brightest red, the final.
Is he not
layer
going
of
for the
kind of
like the
sponging
white
that's being done
highlight?
on the tank. Doesn't see I'm being selective. It's a lot less paint on the sponge. And I'm just trying to hit the kind of higher pieces, the more raised areas to give it kind of like a highlight thing. Make sure I get all the sharp edges as well. And this is where I'm going to jump in and throw on a quick bit of request that you painted. A dot of white in the top left corner. Weird pieces that they are. I've mixed another color in with the final
See, that's
red
nice, but I think he could have gone a lot higher.
pop a little bit more and gone a little bit more on the kind of raised areas.
He said that.
That is a
He just said
potential that
that.
I can work towards in my next example.
It looks nice though. I like the texture, but I think he just could have gone a little bit like harder on the highlights. He's used the 3 colors from Two Thin Coats, which is fine. But I think those colors are very close together. You kind of need to go, if you want an extreme highlight, you need to add to it.
This, but turned out, I think it definitely suits armies. And
Also,
stuff
yeah, I did
like
just
this.
notice he's holding his own sign up, which is quite funny. Oh, no, he's not. Maybe he is. Maybe that's just where his hand rests. Anyway, shout out to Andy. Okay, so I feel like, oh my god, it's all Another Day miniatures. He's the guy. He's the sponge man. He's clean as fuck. I want to see this one. Look at this.
Can you paint Warhammer?
Look at this thumbnail, chat. This fucking... I need to learn. Look at that. Look at that thumbnail. Why is it all round blade? I don't know. I don't know why. But it does. It does. And that's what makes it great.
With a sponge.
Join the Discord. It's awesome. Doesn't have any of Mikey's negatives. Shut the fuck up, Necknell.
Well, the answer is yes, because I've seen other people do it, and that's kind of what made me want to try this. But I guess the better question is, can I paint Warhammer?
He's using a sponge on a sponge.
I wanted to test out some rough-looking wraith bones, so these are the colors that I picked.
Did you see that? He had one of those sponge cloths, and that's why he was like getting the paint off.
To create a
Do I need a
sponge-like
sponge
tool that's
cloth?
kind of
I don't
easy
have a
to
sponge
use,
cloth.
I stole a trick I saw from Darren Latham on Instagram, where he used a
Oh
paintbrush
shit, that is a bit goated, to be fair. That is a bit goated, to be fair. Look at that.
protector to kind of shove the sponge in. This means I can kind of hold it like a brush, as well as
That shot was that not even his
actually making
content?
my fingers dirty with bones. So that's the better question is,
That's
can
Darren
I-
Latham, innit? Ah, goated.
I paint Warhammer with a sponge.
And then look, Another Day Miniatures. He's right there. It's a fucking conspiracy. Another Day Miniatures is single-handedly. It's the brokers of the sponge companies. Another Day Miniatures. He's the plant from the sponge companies. They're all mad that Scrub Daddy's overtaken them. So now they've got Another Day Miniatures to be like peddling £1 sponges at us. It's crazy. I didn't realize I'd get this deep. Okay, here's me thinking, let's paint some miniatures with a sponge. And now we've realized the Sponge Lord is actually Sponge CEO. He owns all the sponge companies that aren't Scrub Daddy. Big Sponge. Oh my god.
I wanted
This is
to test out
crazy.
some rough-looking wraith
This is
bones. So these are
crazy.
the colors that I picked. To create a trick I where he used a
I'm not
paint,
gonna do that. I can't
actually
do that.
making my fingers.
I'm just gonna use a paint.
I thinned down the paint, loaded up the sponge, and just kind of dabbed away. I wanted to paint the majority
Dab.
of the armor with this first layer,
Okay,
which
chat.
was Scale
Dabbed
Colors
away.
African Shadow.
Did he wet the sponge though? I didn't see him wet the sponge.
After this, I loaded up a new sponge with Scale Color Rainy Grey. I actually went over this in a couple of different layers.
I feel like he's just
I found that I
painting.
missed a lot of the armor in the first pass. I wanted to leave some
Look at the head. He's just painting it. With just,
recess behind.
you may as well just
So,
slide.
I kind
you know?
of only attacked the top parts of the model.
Maybe I'm gonna
and
paint
kind
Striking
of
Scorpions with
added
this
some
setting
extra
there.
layers to
You'll see
the
me
most
next
prominent
week.
part.
Can you paint Warhammer with a sponge? Check out my affiliate links, chat, for the £1.99 sponges. I know they're supposed to be normally £1, but your boy got an affiliate link.
It's like the chest, the helmet.
And today I'm
the top
paying
of the
Striking
arms,
Scorpions.
the knees. After this, I went at the model with some thinned down Scale Color Mojave White and did the exact same thing, just leaving slightly more shadow behind.
Okay.
in the bottom.
Now he's airbrushing. Is this not cheating? Oh no, he's adding a filter with the airbrush look.
After that, I gloss varnished the model and let it sit for about an hour, and then mixed up an oil wash. It was just some black and brown together, and dotted that around.
So we need oil washes now.
And all you need to do is just touch it.
That does look quite nice to be fair. I like the underglow.
Into the recesses and watch the oil flow through.
I really don't want to oil wash buildings though. That's crazy.
And here's how she looks with everything blacked out.
I feel like that has lost a lot of... There's like a bit of sponge effect there, but it's lost a lot of it by the looks of it. Or is it just because it's on the filter that you can't see it anymore? I don't love this. This one's decent. It's not quite as good though. Right, Travarian sponge. Travarian, teach me. Sponge. I love this painting technique. This is my slap chop.
When I kicked off my Grimdark series with this Blood Angel, I did not expect that hundreds of people would like it so much that they wanted to try it out on their own miniatures. So when I asked my viewers to submit their results 2 months after the release of the video, I was blown away by the response.
We're like OG Twitch painters that don't do it anymore. OG Twitch painters. We used to both stream on Twitch. We used to raid each other all the time. He references my videos now and again, like when I set fire to my rulebook. Great guy. Right, okay. But Travarian, please teach me
typical
how to paint.
blues that are associated with ultramarines. But one thing I learned during painting all of these different chapters is that
I wasn't expecting that to happen.
when switching out the
video,
main
by the way.
colors. So here, instead of going for the almost black underpainting that worked for the Blood Angel, I realized that I had to do something different for this ultramarine. Don't get me wrong. This looks perfectly fine if you like it, and I could have stained all the edges with a red-brown like I show here, but for the sake of a start-to-finish tutorial, and on the edges, I had to mix in
here we go.
build up
Sponge time.
awesome designs using my link in the description
Use
to receive up to 37% off of your purchase. And besides you all looking awesome from now on, you're also supporting this channel in the process. After I had my new base color applied, that would be the underpainting, which would create the weathering effect. I needed to build up the blues, and for the sake of contrast, since I can't quite shade all of this blue, with wanting the brown to still show in the recesses and on the edges, I had to mix in a bit of Cantor blue with my McCrack blue base layer. Using a sponge to apply the color helps with creating that weathered and battered paint effect, because it creates irregularity in the blue layer and leaves some of the brown to shine through. Wherever I couldn't reach with the sponge, or where using the sponge would destroy any layers that I already applied, I used the brush to stipple on my initial blue mix. It's hard to
very professional, so he's like using a brush to catch up with bits he's missed. We're not going to do that today.
And also decently fast. Of course, if your main goal is speed, just stick to the sponge.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Personally, I just like the control that the brush gives me in these situations. And generally, I don't mind taking a bit longer. Next I was using pure McCrack blue, and as you can see I'm covering less area than before, and with each new layer I make sure that the previous layer shines through to achieve that irregular weathered feeling. Here I'm using the brush again, but of course you could just use the sponge instead. Just that initial first highlight layer shows how the final result will come together.
But didn't wet his sponge, it was definitely dry. Call me crazy, but isn't this title actually rubbish? If I'm looking for a video about sponge painting, is it going to show up, I love this technique, could be anything? Well, that's the thing. When you just put sponge in the title, you know what you're getting. You might click this video because you don't know what you're getting. That's the whole point of, like, intrigue, right? Why? What is this video about? This is my slap chop. What's his slap chop? Right? That's probably got sponge in it. This is his new video. I'm not going to watch it too much because it's a new video. It came out like a day ago. I'm not just going to sit here and watch his video, but I want to know if he uses a sponge. I think he does use a sponge. The algorithm ruined YouTube. It did.
You can leave the paint buildup the way
I can see the sponge
and
there.
it is starting to show. I'm continuing to just...
So he starts with like a dark brown. Oh, I should have started with a dark brown, chat. That would have been so goated. That would have been goated. I sprayed him grey like a stupid idiot. I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? I should have started with the brown. I could go prime them, but I don't want to go prime them because I'm live. Ah, what should I do? Oh, Zenithal primed them like an idiot. I was like, this will be fine. This will be fine. Repriming stream. I don't want to do a repriming stream. Ah. There is still time outside stream. Oh, I don't want to do an outside stream. It never works well. It never goes well. Look, I primed them grey. I primed them zenithal. Look, they're black underneath. This one's very stuck down. Look, I primed them grey. I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? I don't know what to do now. Sponge it brown. It's just that I don't want to put. That seems stupid. Sponging it brown. I'm doing the blue as well. I want to do blue buildings. So like brown would be really nice. Like brown, red. Can I airbrush it brown quick? There's quite a lot to do. I could airbrush it. I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed. Okay. So I think we're going to do hobby now. But I don't know if you knew, chat. I am a full-time streamer, okay? And the thing is you enjoy what I do, okay? I enjoy having you here. However, it's like a two-way street. I give you all this free content. All I ask is for a couple of you grey names to become a member for as little as £1.99, okay? Do it for Jubilife City, okay? If anything. You're going to watch me get angry, okay? You're going to watch me get angry. I'm going to try and do some painting. But all I ask in return is for you to join our community by joining our Discord, by typing !Discord in chat, and becoming a member for as little as £1.99 a month. It's literally £1.99 a month, right? You spent £9,000 on your kids' presents, but you didn't want to spend £1.99 on me. That is a bit cringe, okay? So, £1.99. If you're already a member, you can gift a membership to someone else for £4.99 or £5 each, and call them poor and call them a freeloader. But if you want to hang out, join the Discord and be cool. I do all this for free, and all I ask in return is to pay money. Yes, exactly that. Exactly that, GoP. You know? You've probably got ad block, so all you can do is say, thanks, Mikey, here's £1.99. Anyway. So, we're going to do some... I've got primer, but I think I want more like a reddy brown, so I'm going to airbrush it, I think. So, I'm going to do that. Anyway, join the Discord. It is free to join. But it's better if you pay £1.99 a month. Right, okay. Let's do it. See, even the chat bot is saying you cringe. Very cringe. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do some airbrushing. I just need to go and get some water. Let's be a second. Okay. We'll spin this round. Come here, chat. Come here. Come here. Okay, you should be able to hear me now. Looks like you can. Looks good. Hey, thanks for coming to member, Gary P. See, that's all it takes. How hard was that? That's very kind of you.
Rejoined.
Thank you for rejoining. Just pulling up chat so I can see what people are saying. Okay. I've joined the Discord, so your £1 is like $5 for me. That's true. Okay, so I need to get these off now. They've got magnets on the bottom, but I feel like these magnets might be too strong for this tray, and they're going to end up fucking peeling them all off, which I don't want. So I've got to be careful. So I've magnetized them for a reason, for a video that's coming up. They are way too strong. It's peeling it all off. That's not good. Imagine becoming a member just like you. Just like you. These are fine on the thing I tested, but this is now just peeling it off because I think metal on metal is not working. Yeah, this is shit. Just gotta peel them off this tray, chat, one sec. So this is all for an upcoming video I'm very excited about. It's just taking a little bit longer than I would have liked, which is a shame, but you know. But they're all magnetized, which is great because did you know coins from the 1999 are actually magnetic, which is very handy for doing things like this. And also, if I want to like change the spies around, they're magnetized on, which is quite cool. For example, oh, very cool. Then it's easy to store afterwards, which is quite nice when it's flat, because it should be. There we go. Ta-da! Or we can have this one. Ta-da! Very cool, very epic, as I know. And then like we can paint it all on there, which is cool. Faux pas accidentally used quality magnets. I know. So it's like sticky back. This is called neodymium tape. So it's like magnetic tape. It comes in a roll, and it's really strong. On like ferrous sheets, it's great, but I've just realised on metal, it's probably too strong, so it's pulling it all off. I've got another one behind me, so I'm gonna have to do that in a minute. This one's not so bad actually, but it's only a couple. So like this one's the same. If I slide it, it seems to be okay. The thing I like about Legion of Imperialis terrain, it makes your hands look massive. Thank you, I do have huge hands. It's actually one of my skills. Huge hands. This is normal sized terrain. Let me know if this sounds okay, the quality of the mic's okay, and the music's not too loud and stuff. But it's great on these things, like these little tank traps, because they're just going to fucking slide around everywhere. If you can get them off. Come here, you little shit. So these got magnetic tape on, so you can like put them on the board wherever you like and they'll just stay together. So they're easy to paint, I mean. That's what I mean. Sorry, I didn't mean to spoilers. I'm going to take all these off. Right, so don't put this basically fucking double-sided tape on metal because it's way too strong. That's what we've learned today, chat. God damn it. Cool, right, we need to prime all this fucking red brown now. Jesus Christ, I'm such an idiot. Right, let's mix up a nice colour. I'm probably going to try and use some cheap paint for this. Let's adjust this so you can actually see some light. There we go. How's that? That was good. You can't see my face because of the camera in the way, I've just realised. I just realised the camera is bang in front of my face. What if we move this up a little bit? Like so. Is that a little bit better? And I'll do that. How's that look? There we go. Now you can see my ugly mug. You're so welcome, everyone. Okay, cheap paints. What we got? Leather brown. That's going to be good. Chestnut brown, that's going to be good. Chestnut ink, that's going to be handy. We've got 2 chestnut inks. Let's have a look at this leather brown shit. Or maybe just chestnut brown. That's quite bright. That's poo brown. Does this terrain come in the big Legions Imperialis box, or is it stuff you printed yourself like a separate box? It is all part of the. It's an official kit, so it's the Legions Imperialis Spires kit and the. I can't see the name of it now. It comes in a very big box. It's one of the 2 kits that is on sale. This was all sent to me by Games Workshop. This is called the Civitas Imperialis Administratum Sector. And then the ruins as well. It's a separate kit, yeah, it's separate. That might be a good brown, maybe with a little bit of a black in it. Okay, let's try that. Thick. Should have put some water in first, definitely. Never mind. But yeah, it's not printed, it is official GW stuff. Bit of black to darken it down. It'll go on really easily because I've zenithal primed it like an absolute numpty. Another brush. Another brush for mixing. Yes, we do. Has the camera already gone off? A little bit of flame through there. There's an empty bottle. Yeah. There's a little bit left. There we go. A little bit of water. I think that's a better brown. Yeah, I think having the brown in the recess will actually be quite nice for this, because I think blue with like a brown recess is really cool. I'm going to move my phone because I definitely broke my old phone by spraying paint into the speaker. So I'm going to move that out of the way. My mic's a little bit further away. Should be this one. Looks like that's the right one. 5:38 AM. Good morning. Yeah, just before 12 for us. For me, anyway. Glove. Old glove. Maybe that sounds better, let me know. Right, let's spray this brown, this shit brown, yeah? I'll try it on this one first, see what it's like. Pressure is way too low. There we go. Beautiful. Maybe a little bit darker. If I can do it that quickly, it's not going to take me very long. But maybe I need to do this a little bit darker. Wink. That's like the colour of the starter kit crates, I think. Yeah, I think that needs more black in it. I'll leave it, that's fine, but I think for the rest, I'll do some more black. It was, it's got the nice red hue, but I don't think it's dark enough. Maybe that'll be a bit better. It's obviously going over a light base coat as well, which is going to make it look lighter when it dries. I mean, that might be better. I just realised I need this. Good now, thank you. Just letting nobody. Okay, let's try this little test piece. Oh, that might be better. Yeah, definitely. That's way better. Cool, right, let's prime this shit. I could have done this with a rattle can, by the way. I have this exact colour, which is awfully annoying. Never mind, here we are. Prime away. Anyway, what are you guys up to? What's cracking? What's cracking, chat? What's crack-a-lacking? What's going on? What's going on in life of you? What are you up to today? Except for listening to me airbrush. Having them all magnetized is very convenient for this. I can just be like, bam. No, I'll just hold it like that now. It's funny because if this was a tournament, this is how to paint the terrain and that would be done. That would be it, as you know. Grey, zenithal, little brown at the bottom takes mucky, done. But no, we're ruining it by spraying it all over. Every time you brush past the mic. Okay, let me move this. I've not done painting in a while, can you tell? If I do that, then I'm not brushing past the mic and you should be able to hear me fine. Because it's behind the mic, so let me know if that's any better. I'm building some ridge haulers from the ginormous pile of boxes Jim Steve delivered. He did deliver quite a ginormous box to you. This was too big for me to grab on either side. That'll be alright, I'll just put my thumb there, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. On my way out to do some mini painting socially, gonna do all the little bits, finish off my Heresy World Eaters. Nice, bud. Throwing it all with an oil wash. As a thing, oil washes are great, but I have had problems with them in the past. They are very temperamental, definitely. Definitely temperamental, which is an issue, I think. The last thing I want in mini painting is something that's temperamental. I'm supposed to be working by watching stream instead. That sounds like a much better idea, to be honest. I'm probably going to have to do something about that magnetic tape because that is fallen off really bad. And I've just painted all over it. I'll try and glue it on later, I think. Ah, such a good idea until I fucking put it on the metal tin. I'll put that there, I might be able to see it a bit better now. Oil washes are at the same time super scary, but oh my goodness, they make my brain happy when I get the white sprit start wiping away. Yeah, the wiping away bit's fun. The wiping it all away is pretty fun, to be fair. We've primed less than half of it so far. We're doing well. Long morning of just doing the shit should have done at the start. I just come to love the effect it has. It can be finicky, but it's just giving a little product. Yeah, there's no harm in giving it a go. Try an old Mini, try a Mini they don't use. Or just go, I can always take the paint off and do it my other way. It's kind of difficult if you're like painting like an army, because obviously you've started painting it in a certain way. Which is why I like painting lots of different things all the time. Like I've been painting my Blood Ravens the same way for like 15 years. Pretty much. But it's nice to try different techniques out, which is why I like painting a variety of things. I don't just paint Warhammer all the time. I like to paint like 3D prints and stuff. So yeah, I think it's just like experimentation is always good. Keeps it fresh, keeps it interesting. Because hold the spear tip, because that's gonna fucking get painted anyway. It's a bit wobbly. Don't do that, please. There we go. Mix up some more paint again. There we go. Well, it sticks to each other because they're all fucking magnetic now. What an idiot. That's there. Problem is I have like 1k of vote time to paint by March before I shift projects because I'm super slow. Yeah, that'll do it. Like if you're already painting in a way, you don't really want to be shifting techniques now. You know? Was it Mercenary that said Rhinox Hide is probably a good colour? I think I'm just basically mixing up Rhinox Hide at this point. That is what this colour is. Well, it's very close to anyway. Yeah, this is way too big to hold on to this little thing. She's just going to fall off. I'll do that one in a minute. It's only while I'm airbrushing him anyway that I need to hold it on a thing. I'm not being too careful because it is just a base coat, so I'm not too arsed. That was too big. This one, I'll do this one. Maybe. Yeah. There's fucking brown everywhere now, chat. There's so much brown. At this point, why don't I just airbrush the buildings? Need some water in here, definitely. Easy. Except for the mess. Easy. too big. I can definitely do this one. We're out of space. Put things down now. What we got? Spire. Have many people got into Legions Imperialis? I know Decknell's on about it, but I don't know about many other people, to be honest. It seems to have sold really well, because it seems to be sold out everywhere. Or a lot of places, anyway. But, I've not seen much, like... Except for the initial, oh yeah, they're tiny. I've not seen much hype about it, which is a bit of a shame. I bought so much it's all the Christmas present. That's fine. That's fair. I've completely forgotten how to play because I definitely read the rulebook and then forgot about it. It had such a long delay, it really threw it off for me. Oh, these little tiny bits might need hair drying before I pick them up. I want to go, but it's sold out everywhere. Yeah, that's what I've seen. Makes me think they didn't make a lot, rather than it's super popular. I think there's just not a lot of stock out there for it. I wonder why. That's kind of what I was referring to, Mercenary. They just don't have the stock for it. Not that the game's mega popular and they've sold out everywhere, it's just they don't have it. It's leaking, no. Spray that little barrel. The terrain's so stupid. Look at the size of this. That's a terrain piece with some barrels. Like, how am I supposed to paint that? The terrain, I will say, was actually awful to build. It was actually rubbish. I dubbed it great for rivet counters, and by that I mean people who love to count rivets. There's like so many bits for no reason. Like, I know they can cast large pieces of plastic. Why are they casting all this terrain in tiny pieces? It's just for people who like want to go super in on it, and I was just like, I don't care, I just want to build it. You know? This paint's way too watery, so I'm going to have to do another layer on a lot of it. Yeah, it's just water now. Jesus. You reckon Battlefleet Gothic next to get released? Maybe. Probably not for a couple of years, but I don't think anything that they've made is like off the cards, you know? Like, why would it be when clearly it sells? Like, I think Old World will be a big tell of like how they deal with like specialist games. They're bringing them back. But yeah, they don't have like that game at the minute, so why wouldn't they bring one back if they've got the spare money to? Especially if they like, if they're gonna do like what they do with Fantasyland, like keep a lot of it like fine casting or like 4-draw resin, and just sell it to the people who want it, and not try to make it like an open game, like a new game. You know what I mean? Like 40k and AOS are their gateway, or like Kill Team and Warcry stuff are their gateway games for their main games, and then everything else is a bonus. You know what I mean? Old World isn't there to get new people into Warhammer. It's for people who used to play it or already play Warhammer and want to get into it because they've heard about it. It's not designed to like capture a new audience like 40k and AOS are, you know? They want you to get into 40k and AOS and then play their specialist games, which I think they've kind of lost out on the marketing, because I think a lot of people are expecting it to get like Old World to get like a huge release at the start, and that like, everything's gonna be brand new, where it's not. It's just like an old release of all the stuff you used to have, because you used to have it, so you'll buy it again, type deal. That's what I think, anyway. That's just a theory, an Old World theory. That really hit my throat. That really hit my throat. Right, okay. We're nearly done. Just got the little bits and bobs to do. These little shits. Can we start sponge painting it? Jesus Christ. Space Marine 2, the board game, coming next winter. Yeah, I have it, but it costs me so much money. I really need to make a video with it. Old World can't bomb as long as they make a couple of articles about how you can use old Empire kits to spread around AOS and 40k conversions. Also true. Also very true. It's just a weird one, because I said like they're just trying to capture old fans. It makes no sense. Probably get like Total War fans into it as well, maybe, but I don't think that's a big enough market to like justify a whole new product range. It just feels like, I think it's just going to be nostalgia bait, really, and then anyone else who gets into it will ultimately be the people who get more people into it, rather than like AOS where they're trying to get everybody into it, you know? Like, look at the fact that Old World doesn't have like a cinematic trailer like all the other games did. Like AOS, 40k, Heresy is one of their big ones. I think they wanted to be big. They all had like the investment of cinematic trailers and stuff, whereas Old World, Kill Team got one as well. Warcry, not really, but Kill Team got one, because I feel like they're their main product lines and everything else isn't, you know? It sounds obvious to say, but like, I think people who want Old World to be huge and all this massive product range isn't going to happen, because the writing's on the wall for it, because it's nostalgia bait. That's why there's nothing crazy big happening. It's kind of like, remember this is what we're doing with it now, rather than like, look at this crazy cool game that we're making. Didn't Heresy bomb? I don't really know. I don't have the numbers. It's one of those. It's like because it's not like a huge event scene for it. You don't hear much about it. I think a lot of people were a bit disappointed that they basically only released tanks for like a year in plastic. But I think overall it must have sold well because they keep making stuff for it. Necromunda didn't get a big trailer. No, exactly. I always feel like Necromunda's like a side game compared to everything else, right? These are all just my thoughts, by the way. I'm not right. I'm just spitballing mostly. Like, why do they do these things these ways? I feel like this. I'm not saying it's right or anything. I could be completely off the mark. That's what it feels like in my opinion. I could be completely missing the point, but that's the vibe I'm getting from it so far. You know? I'm just quickly giving bits of Mr. Whack. I'm so annoyed that my sticky fucking magnets have come off the first test. Right, I think we're nearly ready for a sponge now. Let's start moving stuff out of the way. Give it a try. I'm probably going to do everything on one building first, and then we'll take it from there. Gigi wanted Heresy to be big, but they have to stop treating it like a red-headed stepchild. In what way are they treating it like a red-headed stepchild, in your opinion? I feel like they want that to be their biggest specialist game, you know? I still think it's, even though it's smaller than in the other games, it's still huge in terms of like the tabletop market as a whole. Because you have to remember, we're like, oh, it's small. It's so small compared to 40k. Or even AOS, you know what I mean? But, like, they're the behemoths in the room. Compared to, like, Marvel Crisis Protocol or Star Wars Legion or Star Wars Shatterpoint, which are, like, the competing next games in the brand. Heresy will be massive compared. You know? Heresy will still be huge comparatively. So while we go, oh yeah, it's going to die, I don't think it will die, purely because it is still huge, just comparatively, it's tiny. Because it's not 40k, which is a behemoth. pressure gun. My best mate owns every single Necromunda release but struggles to find people to play with. Yeah, that's true. Honest, how much terrain do you think you've painted in your whole career? Way too much, mate. Way too much. I have no idea. It's far beyond trying to understand how much I've painted now. More than most people ever paint in their life, definitely. Definitely a lump of painting here now. I can feel it. More than most people in my position will ever paint in their life as well, probably, for how much terrain I've painted. Like, people who do this for a job, like tournament organisers or even, like, other YouTubers, I've probably painted more terrain than them as well. And will paint more than they ever will. For all sides alone, there'll be hundreds of pieces painted. Exactly, yeah. And it's only going to grow. How much have you painted with a sponge? None. Actually, none. But today that will change. The sponge meta is here. There's definitely really bad block in this airbrush, but I can't be arsed to see it and clean it. There's definitely something in the nozzle, I can hear it. Oh, what? My air pressure's really down, so I'm going to have to leave it for a little bit. Right, okay. I'm going to change my water, then we're going to do some sponging. Is that alright? Tough? It's happening. Right, BRB. Okay. I got my sponge. I'm going to go for a Travarian Ultramarine vibe. That sort of palette. That's what I'm going for. That's the vibe we're going for. Like a blue-red. Bluey-reddy. I'm going to clean this out as well, because it's a bit dry. Right. Let's keep our paint really wet. We're going to use a wet palette. That was one of the crucial things. Keep paint wet. Love Wednesday mornings, proper chill. I'm glad. I like Wednesday mornings. They are pretty fun. A bit different as well, you know what I mean? Happy Wednesday, my dude. Thanks for the 5 months. So we're going to use 2 thin coats to try this out. So, Abyss Blue maybe. What's this? That's brown. Marine blue. I want like a blue grey, basically. I want like a blue grey rather than like a plain blue. So I probably want abyss blue. I probably want marine blue and celestial blue. There's my triad, but then I want some grey in there. So I probably want some Eidolon grey. Maybe cold quartz blue. That could be a cool colour. Yeah, that's a similar. That could be a good base coat actually. What is that? Yeah, that could be a good base coat. We could work our way from cold quartz blue. So using a bunch of blues and greys basically. So there we go. Let the record state I wasn't gifted. Yeah. Tell me anything. That is grey. Let's add in some blue. So we've added in with that. It's cold quartz grey with a little bit of abyss blue. That's a cool base coat, I think. Maybe. Not the king of gifted. Yeah, true, he is. Don't shut up about being gifted. Right, okay, let's tear off some sponge. So the guy used like quite a large bit for his first base coat. I'll probably do. Maybe. We got our rough edge there. And then we'll paint maybe this one. We'll try it out on this guy, see what it looks like. Is everybody ready? The ultimate test. Here we go. I didn't damp my sponge. I didn't damp the sponge. What am I doing? I'm such an idiot. To quote Reggie, my body is ready. Brilliant. Right, I've damped the sponge now. Let's try again. Can you see that okay? That looks pretty fire, to be fair. To be fair, chat. To be fair, Another Day Miniatures, the CEO of Sponge Companies, maybe he is the goat of sponge painting. Maybe you can paint miniatures with a sponge. I answered the thumbnail. Chat, to be fair. To be fair, chat. Trevarian will be proud. Trevarian's going to be mega proud. Look at that. That was pretty fire. Let's quickly dry it off. To be fair, lads, I think he might be onto something. That's literally one colour. That looks great. That looks sick, actually. That's a bit too far away. That looks sick. I think what would really make it pop would be a white and black checkered roof. Get fucked. Okay, so that was those two. So if we go Abyss Blue with some Eidolon Grey as the next highlight. I don't think it matters too much what colours you use, to be honest. I think as long as you work your way up, it's going to be fine. I actually don't like that colour. Actually, chat, I hate it. That's darker. That didn't work. Fuck that shit off. Who are you? Who's this? New number, new phone, who this? This is shit. That's a shit colour. Yeah, I just realised it's way darker. If I started with that one, it would have been fine. Let's get rid of this one. Eidolon Grey. Get fucked. Hate you. Corpse Coal Grey and Abyss Blue. That's what we're playing with. So we'll put some more in there. And then we'll use some of that to mix in the next one. Needs a better name. What about Dib Dab? My new favourite painting technique. The Dib Dab. I'm in. So I'll mix those together so we can do the next one the same. That's why I've done that. I wanted more paint there. But then we need some more for like the next highlight. Oh my god, am I a sponge painter? Maybe I'm a sponge painter after all. Right, marine blue next. Whoa! That's not blue. I think that might be the medium. I think that might be a little bit of medium there. It's a very strange medium colour, but there we go. We'll mix it in, it'll be fine. Dibby dabby. Sponges dibby dabby. I'm a dibby dabby. What are you up to today, Mikey? I'm doing a bit of dibby dabby, you know? Bit of dibby dabby with the boys. I think that's too blue now. I don't like it. I don't think that's grey enough. How do they do it? How do they make it look sick? Should I have just added in white? That's way too blue now. The next trend after sponges has to be painting shapes of cut out potatoes. Brilliant. I like the greyness. I don't like the blueness of that. So if I add some Cold Corpse Grey again. This is how we do it, chat. We just experiment. Because it needs to be lighter than that, but it still needs to be grey. How do I do that? I feel like I've just made the same colour. Add some of that shit in. Oh, that might work. That's looking a bit better, I think. Yeah, that looks better. There's quite a lot of paint there now, though. Let's try that. Yeah, that's the more tone I'm looking for. So I'll just cover up what I've just done. It looks like I've shaded it, you know what I mean? Like, I've already washed it, which is quite cool. Right? Then I need to do the same but lighter, but more white. So if I take a big lump of this, put it here, and I'll drag all this shit in. Drag all that shit in, I'll put like a light grey in it. Let's try that. Another light grey. Bit of Caradon grey maybe. Try a little bit of Caradon grey. Well, these need mixing so bad. These all need mixing so bad. Yeah, that's the sort of vibe we're going for. Now I've got 3 big blobs of colour, so I can do another one in a minute. And then yeah, and you could do like another, like an icy colour to add to it. I went with a new bit of sponge for this one. Dampen it, chat. Dampen the sponge. Is this Outer Wilds? No, I don't think so. Just lo-fi. It could be actually. It's lo-fi video games. Right, so this is the next colour. Oh, chat, this is goated, mate. Goated technique. So I'm just focusing on the top. Focusing closer to the top. Oh, that's way too much. Oh, no. Put way too much on there, didn't wipe it off. Got too overzealous. Teeny tiny posters. You'd be lucky if there's any other colour on this thing. I won't lie. I won't lie, chat. I do think that looks quite good. I do think that does look a bit sick, actually. And a little bit more is a treat, you know. I do think we might be onto something. That red undertone has done loads. Works really well at that scale. It does. Do I need to go one higher? I don't know what colour I'm mixing now. Put some yellow wash on the bottom so you can see where the folks have pissed against the wall. Brilliant. I think that looks pretty sick, actually. I mean, that looks really good. And it was very quick as well. How long have I actually been painting? Not including the spray time, because I don't think the spray time should count. But how long have I actually been painting with a sponge? What, a couple of minutes? I don't even think that needs a wash. I think you could call it done there. Maybe painting a sponge is the next meta. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was a hater. Should we try it again? Should we do another one? That's just 3 colours. That's all I've used. These 3. And the base coat. I'm very, very impressed actually how easy and quick that was. Guys, is my entire life of painting terrain about to be changed because I picked up a fucking sponge from the kitchen sink? OSL lights get fucked. No. Maybe. There's no lights on it though. They're too small. They're too small. They don't really have lights. Let's try bomb. No, maybe not a bombed out building. Let's try a bombed out building. Fuck it. Why not? Oh, they're small. No. I dropped her in the paint. Oh, that's way too much. No, you don't bother wiping that off, Mikey. Jesus. What's wrong with you? I'm going to hold this one. Oh, maybe it'll be hold on the magnet. Oh, it will hold on the magnet. That's cool. I like secure it with my finger. It was fucking awkward to hold these things. They're so small. Trying to make sure I get all the inside with at least one base coat, and then I can not worry about it afterwards. And then we'll go to the next colour. Oh, I should probably dry this off there. I don't think the second colour is as drastic as of a change, or it might be because I'm using the same sponge. Highlight. Yeah, I think the sponge is mixed in too much. Might have to wash the sponge next time. Hey, we got that's pretty good. Cheers, mercenary. That's pretty good actually. I actually really like that. That's really good. That's like such a sick way to paint actually. That is so quick. That is so quick. I need a bit more sponge I think. For the mid-tone. Dampen the sponge. Moist, not wet. Chill music and Mikey's dulcet tones literally sent me to sleep during the Legion Imperialis stream I've waited my entire life for. You are so welcome, mate. I have a really fun video planned for this, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do it. What shall we do next? Let's do this one. Let's do this guy. Bam, 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 bam. We call it the Bam Bam. Just smash it on. Bam, bam, bam. I'm a professional sponge painter now, by the way. Don't even notice. I painted 2 whole buildings. I'm a sponge painter. This is good. This is actually quite elite. No wonder everyone's starting to paint with a sponge. Like, Travarian was promoting it well, but he wasn't clickbaity enough. Just wait until now I've got my hands on it. It's gonna have a funny name, it's gonna have t-shirts, it's gonna be theme parks. It's gonna be amazing. There's gonna be so many sponge theme parks. There's gonna be like play areas with sponges. There's gonna be sponge cannons. You've all fucked it. You've all fucked it. We call it the dab technique. Dab. Get a little bit in there as well. Why not? I could do it like probably a stronger sponge, to be fair. All sponsored by Big Sponge. It is actually sponsored by Big Sponge. I'm a plant by a Big Sponge, yeah. I'll dry it off first, chat. Dry it off first, don't get too excited. Then do your highlight, your mid-tone. Don't be scared, just do it. Just go for it, why not? Halfway up on top, all over. Keep turning the model. Play wet. Just play wet, boys. I think it looks sick because it looks like it's been streaking grimed. Because I can't actually get to the recess because I'm using the softest sponge known to man. I need a scrub daddy. I'll give you something for free, my friend. This process is of course called Sponge Blob. SpongeBob square painting. I could call it Sponge Blob. Sponge Blob has a ring to it, right? Sponge Blob, maybe. I'm trying to get in there, but I can't quite get to it. Shit! Don't pull off the magnets, you dickhead. You need them. Sponge Blob square painting. Because we're painting with a square because it's a sponge. Around the top. The castlements. Battlements even. Castlements, dickhead. Slongbop. Splungebop. Spongeblop. Spongeblop square painting. That's what we got today, chat. Spongeblop square painting. That looks so good. That is so easy to do. Oh my god. I can't believe how easy that is to do. That is insane. No wonder. No wonder everyone's painting with a fucking sponge these days. Look at it. It looks so good. Couple of details on there. I don't know what, but a couple of details on there. It's so small, I can't fucking see them anyway. You definitely should wear gloves though, because the paint goes through the sponge, funnily enough. They look great. They look so good. I need to film this. Painting with a fucking sponge. Who'd have thunk it? Painting with a sponge. Who'd have got that on their bingo card for 2024, eh? SpongeBob. You can't call it SpongeBob. Let's do this boy. This bad boy here. Oh, this is falling off. All the magnets are falling off, Jack. SpongeBob. Right, okay. We start with base coat colour. Very dark blue. Bam. All over. Just blop it on. Like a sponge. Like you're a sponge blob. Like your arse in the embodiment of Sponge Blob. Sponge Blob SquarePants would be proud. I can't believe how bad these magnets are falling off now. That's so annoying. All over. All over SpongeBob fans. Are you ready, kids? It's sponge painting, baby. Excuse me. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. Drop it. Bop it. Get it. I've got too much paint in now. When am I making a Legion's terrain pack? Mate, just put the terrain on the board. It literally doesn't matter. It's a kid's game. Don't worry about it. Full terrain on the board. Oh, that looks cool. You're done. There's gonna be no tournaments of Legions Imperialis. Don't worry about it. Okay, that is our first base coat down, as you can see. This damn magnet. I have to resin bond the fuckers on again. Okay, we'll dry it off with the hairdryer. We're all big kids here, true. True. Mid-tone time, baby. Mid-tone time. We're in the mid-tone. Top half. Easy. Easy. Focus on the higher points. Top half. Not super subtle. It is super subtle even. It's not too much. Just adds a little bit. I think I'm running out of paint here, that's why. You know? Just over the top half. Don't go towards the bottom. Don't do it. Don't do it, chap. Start there. Go there like that. Bam, 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 bam. On the middle. Not in the edges. Just in the middle. Easy. Easy. Smash it. Smash it. You know, where it looks a bit weak, where the blue's not so saturated, hit it. Hit it with a sponge. Smash them in. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're making progress. I'm running out of paint. Shit. You can't see it. Don't worry, it's there. Don't worry, we're just filling in. Filling in the bits we missed already. Adding some in. Okay. Around the edge, around the top. All in. We're running out of paint as well. Dry it off. Final colour. The light grey one. Okay, the light grey one. Just on the edges. Smash it in. Smash it in. Down there, a little bit there, a little bit here. A little bit there, everywhere. All around the top. A little bit on the door, because that looks cool. A little bit on here, because that looks cool. Look at that texture. Wow, so much texture. Gordon Ramsay would be like, wow, texture. You fuck. And then you call it a day. You have a Legions Imperialis building. You maybe do a little bit across the top here just so it blends in a little bit better. You have a Legions Imperialis building painted, ready to go. You maybe do a little bit more here because it looks cool. Maybe do a little bit more here because it looks cool as well. Maybe you do that and then you call it a day. You got your own very own building. And the magnet that's fallen off because it hates me. What's we doing? Damn you! We paid 4 buildings already. Look at that. We have to mix up some more paint. I don't remember how I did it now. So that was Cold Corpse. A bunch of Cold Corpse and Abyss Blue. Right? I think. Yeah. Bit of that. Cold Corpse and Abyss Blue. And then over here we had Cold Corpse and Abyss Blue with a little bit of Marine Blue. And Celestial Blue to lighten it up. A little bit there. If we add a little bit more Celestial to this, we'll get a light colour. That's a good colour, I think. That's a nice saturated blue. And then over here, put a little bit in. And we'll go more Celestial. And then back to grey. Right? That's how we did it, I think. It sounds right. And then it needs more grey. Definitely needs a little bit more grey. Over here. Maybe a little bit of this. Put a little bit of that in there. grey. It's definitely darker than that. Was it even the same colour? I don't think it was. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let's do it all again, chat. Let's do it all again. Let's get some more blue roll. Let's do this one. Cool. Okay. Sponge, sponge, sponge. The buildings they don't need to match exactly anyway. Yeah, exactly. I'm not too fussed. Purely because, as you say, they don't really need to match. It's fine. As long as they're a similar tone. It's using all the same colours, so it doesn't matter. They're slightly off. They're going to look off when there's different lighting anyway. It's not the end of the world. It looks great though, I think. I think it's a really nice effect for these buildings. You could do a lot more with them. I might do a little bit more on the building. I don't think I probably will stop here just because of the project time frame. But you could do a hell of a lot more with it. You could add another colour on the flooring if you wanted. You could do like a similar effect. I think on the spires, that'll be the fun one. I'll do a spire in a minute. I think that'll be an interesting one, to be honest. So just smash that all over. Cool. Dry that off. I'm so glad we sprayed them brown, Jesus. I am so glad we sprayed them brown. And the next colour. That's definitely more less subtle now. It looks good. It definitely feels more like a different colour compared to what it did a minute ago. So add some saturation to the colour because it's quite washed out initially. That's what it feels like. You can do this with any three colours as well. Just like choose a palette, choose what you're going to go for, and then just like look at any other model that anyone else has painted. Usually they're brown in the recess, so spray it brown. And then you can use anything. Like we saw Andy use red, which worked quite well. Just think you need to just go a bit brighter. I feel like the last highlight is the colour to watch. That's the one that's going to have the final texture on. So the final colour is probably the most important, because that's where you're really going to see the texture, you know, because that's the one that goes over the top. I think that'll make and break the sponge painting, the final highlight. I do think you have to go like quite extreme compared to what you expect. But this might even be my go-to to paint buildings from now on. Maybe not for tournaments, but for like the channel and stuff. It seems like a really cool way. It's quite fun as well. It's very quick. It's very quick, very effective, and looks very good. And it's fun because you paint with the sponge. No more dry brushing mass terrain blisters. Yeah, literally. And I'm not using special sponge. It is literally a kitchen sponge, one that comes in a pack of 10 for like £1. Because I think like going in and like having to buy special sponges, it's just another barrier to entry that you don't need when you can get something like this with a fucking kitchen sponge. You know, it's literally a Brillo pad. And I think that looks really good. And even though I've used technically different colours, it doesn't look much different. It does look mine. The newer one just looks brighter, that's all. So I can even go back over this one and go, cool, now they match. Cool. Right, okay, let's do a spire. Because I want to try to put some contrast paint over the top. See what it looks like. God damn it. It's literally stipple wet brush and it's great. Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. It's just stippling, but with a sponge instead for the texture, which is like doing it with a dry brush, but with a sponge instead. So it's cheap, very accessible paint, like style of painting, I think. A bit messy as well, which is fun. Kids could do this, you know. Bit of a laugh. But there's no skill involved. It's just fucking hitting it with a sponge. The only skill involved is like, oh, I need to get that small bit, so I'm going to fold the sponge over a little bit. That is it. That's the only difference I've done. I suppose the hard bit will like be coming up with the colours, you know. I mean, that's going to be like the barrier to entry, is like trying to work out the colour palette. But that's the same with anything. I think once you've got the colours, you know what you're doing. Like, you could paint an army like this, definitely. Like, I'm doing it on terrain because I thought the effect would be quite cool. And it has worked out to be quite cool for buildings, but you could definitely just paint Space Marines like this, definitely. Like we've seen with that Tartarus Terminated by that Another Day minis. Like, it clearly works for Space Marines, you know? Anything with armor, anything that's like metal, you can have like a cool effect. It works so well for Iron Warriors. Yeah, you could get like a cool effect with metallics, definitely. Like 3 heavy metallics. And some streaking grime on it. Yeah, all I'm doing is just rolling it in my hand so I can get it all the way around. I think that's a good base coat there. I'll zoom out a bit for this one. The paint's mostly dry when you land it on the thing anyway, so you don't really need to hair dry it. I'm just doing it for safety, really. So colour 2. I'm not going to go as in depth now, so I'm going to try and remember to not fold up the sponge. Dum. I've got an idea for the roof. I'm going to That's a little bit of an idea that I want to try. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, I like this technique actually. I think it's quite fun. I'll smash it in there. Just get the raised parts in there. I was stabbing it with my finger basically. Okay. That's that one. And then the highlight. Oh, way too much. Got a bit of lump of paint on somewhere. Better. And hit all the roof. Hit any bits I've already missed. Now I'm doing this a bit more over because this is going to be on top of a building, so it's going to look, it's going to want to be brighter anyway. You don't like the highlights on top of the building, then this to like go dark again really. Only like not a crazy amount. Obviously that's going to sit on. This is going to sit on something like this. You know. Because of that, I want to make sure like it's kind of like highlighted all over. But what I'm going to do now is, with a fresh sponge, I'm going to take that colour and add a little bit of white. Okay, hear me out, hear me out. Let's take that blue grey we've got and just add it to white. I'm going to use a new sponge for this. I don't know if it's going to work. It could be a fucking shambles for all I know. But we'll try it out. I'll probably need some tweezers as well now. Where's my tweezers there? I'll make it quite compact. So I want to hit now just the roof sections. Just these sections here, the slats. That's the plan. I want to give it that, keep that texture. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want it to be white. But I want to like add some texture under it that's brighter. And then I'm going to hit it with a contrast paint. Because I think a really thin contrast paint might tone it a different colour, but it'll keep the texture underneath. I can just fucking leave them white because it does look quite good. Plain slow cooker on for dinner. Smells great, so I couldn't face the sad butty. That's all we've got in for lunch. Uber Eats to the rescue. Brilliant. I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch yet. Right, what colour should I do the roof? All these sponge painting videos is just propaganda by Big Sponge to get us to buy more sponges. We did make that joke. Big Sponge angry about Scrub Daddy. Does an orange roof look weird? I had this great idea, now I don't know what colour to do it. Red thatch roof. I'm trying to imagine it. Come on, chat, what do you reckon? What colour roof? Gold like Moscow? No. Contrast. Maybe red could work. Dark green or grey. Could do a dark green. The orc flesh. I'm going to thin it down to try it though. I think it wants a little bit of grey and it just does knock it back a little bit. Silicon grey. So Basilicanum grey and orc flesh. I don't know if this is going to work actually. I think it'll work, but I don't know if I like the colour. It feels very... Because it's so thin, I think it might work. Does that look weird? I think that might look weird. Light, not bright. Yeah. Well, that's got like a green hint to it. I think I watered it down a bit too much. But I didn't want it to be like insane, you know? Would verdigris look too much? I don't know if I like that. I'm just gonna wash it off. No, I don't like it. Don't like it. Not a fan. So not those two colours. Proxy glow scales maybe. Like a turquoise. That could look a little bit like verdigris. I could just paint verdigris on it. This is why I'm not an architect, guys. This is why I don't do architecture. I don't know how to do colours on buildings. I need to see one to know if it's going to work. I feel like orange might work, but that might be too brown. That's the other reason. Actually, yeah, it's just I don't know what colour it is. Maybe like a dirty orange. That's just brown then. Maybe that'll work. It looks very red, doesn't it? Maybe I was leaving white at this point. I don't know. I don't know what roof colour to do. I don't think this idea works. I think it works, I just can't find the right colour. Hey, Stu, thanks for 10 months, bud. Looking like gold is a sham. I'm not doing gold. I'm going to leave them white. I don't know what colour to do then. I can't work it out. I'll think about it. I'll have a go later. I mean, not live on stream. Look at some colour charts and stuff. Anyway, back to what I am good at. Sponge painting. Let's do this beefcake. It's going to take quite a lot of paint, I think, this one. I feel like maybe you should just buy a pack of 10 sponges and just use the sponges as like each one, like rip a bit off the corner, because I think this is fine, but it's a bit so small. You know, I feel like it'd be better if I was just holding the sponge going like this, you know, for this large piece, which I just might do. Why don't I just do that? Oh, that might not work. I ripped a chunk out. I can just use this now though. I hate this, too small. Too small, cringe. Your main tone is already strong, so I don't think it needs to be subtle. I think it needs to be subtle, but to not be too much. I don't hate the red as much as I thought. Again, you'd have to do them all the same. Yeah, I'd do them all the same, but I don't want to commit because I can't be asked to repaint it, so I might like leave it for now. Should we expect a what sponge best video? Once it takes off in my first video about Legion Imperialis, then yeah. I'm just going to be a sponge channel. I'm just going to react. Get it? Sponge channel? But this is being recorded, so this bit in particular that we're saying now will be included in some form. But I do live stream every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes these streams become videos. I don't know if you realised. gonna have to make some pots up of the paint I'm using because of the mixers. I'm gonna make some little, like, mix them into little paint bottles so I always have access to them. I do think it's quite legit though. I'm interested to see if you guys pick it up for anything. I do think it's a very interesting painting technique and it does work really well. I'd be interested to see like the uses for it. Like again, you can paint Space Marines with them all day, don't get me wrong. But like, what else can you paint with them that looks good? You can paint buildings with them, they look great. But what else? But yeah, I don't want to become a sponge channel, that would be a bit grim. Non-metallic metal sponge tutorial equal 3 clicks. Would it work? Would it work as a non-metallic metal? Maybe, because of the texture. You think? Do you think it's because of the texture that's why it'd work? You could just do like a series of greys and whites and then wash it with best silicone and grey. Only one way to find out true. I don't think we're going to find out today though. I'm going to have to go soon. I'm going to do this build and then call it a day. Your boy's got a practice game this afternoon, and I, like an idiot, I left all my models at Sanctuary, so I've got to go to the Sanctuary to go get them. I might try and film some of the game, but like round up, like a not like a each turn by turn. It's not gonna be like a battle report. It's gonna be like this turn, this happened type deal. What did I learn? Mikey practicing. I know, me practicing. I'm practicing against Eldar. So I might do like a little like vlog type thing. I'm going down to a store, meeting a friend, playing some games. Should be a good time. Oh, I forgot to say I swapped to the mid-tone. I don't know if anyone noticed. I don't think you did. Run out of paint as well, so I think it's probably a good time to do the last one. While I'm playing, I think I'm playing against Eldar. In terms of list, I'll probably keep that for the video. I'm trying out something new though. He's practicing how to play casual, thanks. Okay, feels like a little bit, not quite enough on the front. I'm going to go a little bit harder and scoop the rest of this paint up. This technique eats paint, I will say that. So much is wasted on your sponge. Man hasn't even looked at his rules. I've got 2 lists to try. 2 different factions. I'll get there as well. Down there. There we go. I think bigger sponge is probably better than using the little one. For the mid-tones anyway. The highlight, I think I'll go back to the little one. But I think like this size is a good size for like doing this sort of building. When we get Legion's battle report, mate, it's going to be even better, don't worry. It's coming, it's going to be great. There's a reason I'm painting these up. Okay, now I'll go back to the small one for the final highlight. There's so much final highlight paint, and there's hardly anything of the other two, it's so annoying. The highlight pops off. The highlight does pop off, yeah. That's very true, they made it. Again, I think the highlight colour is probably the most important. I don't even think you need the mid-tone, but it's just nice to do, just to get that little bit of gradient. I think the highlight colour being so bright is what makes it. Mean. Realize I'm missing the entire side. Cool. I think that looks good. I need to do a little bit on the... not yet. Doesn't look good yet. I think that looks good. There we go. Sponge blop. Sponge blop technique. It's the future, everyone. 2024. Everybody's going to be painting with a sponge, I promise you. Promise you. Look how good it looks. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they be painting with a sponge? You know? Of course they're going to paint with a sponge. Look how good it looks. It looks so good. That was fun. I enjoyed that. We got quite a bit done actually, as well. After we had to airbrush it all again. We got like a third of my terrain done in like an hour. Maybe. And they all look great, I think. That doesn't quite fit on there, but you could. You could put that on there. You could put that on there. Doesn't quite fit. You could though. Ah, that was cool. That was very cool. Very quick, very easy. That was really fun. 2 Hounds, 2 Reavers, Warlord, and Warbringer Solar Aria armor panels. Nice. Yeah, it worked really well for the Titans. That's for sure. You could paint the Titans in a very similar way, like very easily. So yeah, that's it for today. I've only been recording for 15 minutes. That's not very long. Decent. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. Thank you to everyone supporting the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking it. There are those who resubbed or became a member. Thank you so much. We did only get 1 member, so we didn't hit the member goal for the giveaway today. But that's okay. That's fine. That wasn't really my plan for today. But I wanted to do something fun, and I was to paint with sponges. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'm actually not going to be live again now until probably Tuesday next week, to be honest. Because, again, I'm away Friday, Monday. I'm in Paris. In Paris. In gay Paris. That's where I'm going. So it should be fun. So, so yeah, I won't be here. I'll be on Discord. I'll try and film a little bit. I'm going to try and put out a member video this week. I was going to put one out of the weekend, but I kind of like completely like just slipped my mind, I'll be honest. So I'm going to go have some practice games now. Well, I'm going to go Sanctuary, then have some practice games. And I'll try and film a little bit and do like a little bit of a roundup about my findings for members only. So if you're a member, if you are freeloader or higher, you'll be able to get that video sometime this week. You'll get that video this week and before I go to Paris, and then otherwise the next content will be when it's done, I guess. So thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you next week, I guess. Appreciate you all. Join the Discord, especially the Discord.